Okay, we just got everything all cleaned up. So, spick and span now. So, got every piece of the motor here all looking good. So, cam cover, we found a bunch of goo inside of it, so to clean it out up inside of the breather cavity up in here. So you stick your finger up in there and work it all out and get all the black goo out that's hidden up in there. So we got this one all nice and clean also. So we got the oil pump cleaned up because we got to put the scavenge pump in. And I noticed that the gears are magnetic. See they stick together?
Yeah.
That's not good. So we need to work on that. You got to work on that?
Do you have a degausser?
A degausser. I got a demagnetizer.
Yeah.
Gausers make magnetism. I don't think they take them out, do they?
No, the degausser takes them out.
Degausser. Okay, we're going to degauss and demagnetize it here. Run it through the middle of that. It don't stick no more.
Yeah. You used to have to do something like that to TV picture tubes.
Right. We don't want magnetism on our pump gears because the grit stuff stays in the teeth and chews up everything. Don't like magnetic motor parts. That's why you basically never see me use magnets around motors. Especially magnetic screwdrivers. It's stupid. Alright, so now these are correctly fixed now. Alright, so where's our bag of fancy hardware? Hidden? We also need to get the flywheels going over here. A little bit of 290 Loctite here. Screwdriver over here somewhere. There it is. So what I usually do is I take a drop of this stuff. Nice drop. You go over here and stick it in there. Usually it sucks right in if there's any spot to go to. It does its job.
Capillary action.
Yep. It says so right on it.
Yep.
Penetrating. They took capillary out because nobody knew what the hell it meant.
They didn't pay attention in school.
Yeah. We also used to have whale porosity filler too. They got rid of that also. This doesn't want to go where I want it to go.
Porosity filler.
Big drop that time. Gone.
Must be a space on that side.
Yeah, there was no space on that side. Slowly
Yeah,
going away.
but it went away.
One way slower. It'll run out the bottom too if you keep pouring it in there. Alright, so I'm thinking that's probably enough for that. Didn't want to do anything over here, so I'm going to wipe up the excess because we don't want to.
You want to stick the bearings in there?
No, I don't want to have the bearings. It's probably best not to have your bearings locked in.
No, they won't wear out that way.
Yeah. Well, only in one spot.
Only on one side.
Yeah. It's like a tire, it's only flat on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to give that a few minutes of not dicking with it to make sure it all goes where it's supposed to. So we can go do something else. Well, this side here, same thing going on over here. Doesn't appear to be a crack anymore.
I hope not.
Whoa, too much. Soak up the excess. Alright, there's our notch. This piece. With the shiny part up and the crappy side up.
Yep.
Appears to be filled in already pretty good. Not soaking in very fast. So now there's a little bit of a gap between these two surfaces. I don't really want to have it. I don't want the washer sticking up too far. So I'll put a little weight on that. You know, you put a little weight on that.
Turn it over.
Put a little press on it. Perfect. Sports your case right for it. Put about 1,000 pounds on it, 500 pounds, whatever. We'll let it sit like that for a little while. That'll stick it down there where it belongs. So obviously we're on hold on the crank for a few minutes. I'm gonna go work on something else important. What's important? Go home? That'd be important.
Doesn't matter.
Alright. Let's see. What are we doing for oil pump gaskets? Are we using new ones or using old ones?
Just the old paper ones are fine. Oh, something fell.
That's our template for something. Probably on the oil pump, it's probably best to go with an old thin gasket's probably the best, but we're definitely going to have to heat it, or water it to make it work if we do use it. What do we got in here to use? Got some new copper gaskets in there. So there's the new gaskets. Alright. How thick is that?
Oh, it's thin.
10. That's very thick. 10. How about that one?
That's pretty thick.
Feels even thicker. 14 and
14 and
a
a
half.
half.
Call that 15. It's really thick.
Ooh.
Let it shrivel up a little bit.
But it's not 15.
Some people will say that that's no good anymore.
9 and a half, 9, 12,
That's the way you measure. It's 9.
9.
So that means you have tighter clearances when you run this gasket over this gasket. I don't know why there's not a gap between those two either. It's only a little bit smaller than stock. But it was on there before, so I know it grows back up. So where's the actual oil pump?
In that cardboard box.
Okay. So, where do they have a gallery going between two holes? So you go in between these two surfaces.
I wonder why.
This one does not.
No.
Harley obviously didn't want it to go through. That's why they didn't put a groove in there. So I wonder what's up with that. Now having a thicker gasket on this is not really going to hurt us too much because it's a rotary vane design pump, and a little extra clearance side to side doesn't hurt it as much. It's got clearance built into the pump. You know, it's not a real tight clearance anywhere, so it doesn't really affect pressure. On a gear pump, it does. There's a gap in between these parts, and the more gap you got, the less oil pressure you get. So there's a certain amount of distance between those two surfaces. And right now it feels flush. Nope, just touching it, barely. Caliper. So if we go across the face here, 42, 41, 43. Let's see. The gear's spinning, so there's burrs on the surface right here. Don't really feel them, but you can see them and hear them.
Mm-hmm.
Probably from the CAD buildup. Get high spots. Where'd the other half go? See the high spots in there where they're high.
Mm-hmm.
Forty-one. But now I can feel drag on the gear, but it is spinning.
Mm-hmm.
Feel it's where it's hitting. It's not measuring anymore, but it's the same height. So basically, whatever clearance you got here is the gasket. So if you put a 10 thou gasket on there, you got 10 thou pump clearance. Usually you want 1 to 3.
Real tight.
Yeah, I like them at 1.
So that
if you use
that paper gasket.
if you use these new fancy gaskets here that are 10 thou thick, you're gonna blow off a lot of your volume. Now this is a sump pump, so it's not as critical as an oil pump, but it's still, it is what it is. Now if you use these little thin ass gaskets here, then it tightens up your clearances. Now these are old onion paper style gaskets, which people say are old and obsolete these days, but you know what, they're in my military bike and they work just fine. Every bike I've ever used them in, they work just fine. All you do is water them up, shrink them back out, and unlike this new style paper that goes bad after, you know, 10, 15 years, this stuff here just keeps on going. These things are 70 years old. They just shrunk up a little bit. So, looks like we're at 9. So most of the time these things are only down around 5 thou, but this one's pretty big. So there's no real advantage to using these. They're 1 thou. It's not that much difference.
That's what the new gasket was, only 1 thou bigger?
Yeah.
Oh.
I suspect these to be like 4.5, 5 thou thick. Oh well. Now if I put water in all that, it might shrink to 8. We could still use them, would work just fine, but we're not getting an astronomical amount. So to gain oil pressure on this, you're going to have to surface this body down until you get this down to where this sticks up above the surface about 8 thou. Then you stick the gasket on there, it's 10 thou, and it compresses 1 thou, that gives you 1 thou clearance. That's how you maximize your capacities. On an oil pump, I would do that. On a scavenge pump, I'm not as critical about those. Now, what I don't understand is why they got that slot going across. This one. So I'm not sure what oil system they're bleeding across. But obviously they put a groove in there for a reason. I just don't know what it is. I prefer that was left alone, I think. So trying to figure out what these oil systems do is unknown. So. Okay, this is a gallery that goes down. This is your breather gallery. Goes to here. It's this one. Why they got that opened up? That's weird. That's a drill gallery, but they're dumping oil. So this must be pressure relief. Here, I guess. Looks like it goes down to here, which is probably this. It goes over to here. It comes up to there. So that's your breather channel. So what's this hole going to? Don't see anything.
Something came out the back.
That's the blew this motor thing off.
Whoa.
You didn't blow all the holes out, did you?
I did. I thought I put it in the holes.
Yeah. That doesn't look very clean to
That's
me.
this one.
It doesn't look very clean.
Oh,
to
no,
me.
it's this.
Yeah, this doesn't look very clean.
No.
No, it's inside of there too. See, that's why I got to double check your work. I blew through that hole and it just comes out nasty looking. I don't want that in your motor. You want that in your motor? Thank you. Alright, so that's pressure. That feeds your pinion shaft. So why are they blowing oil from your pressure into your return system? That doesn't make sense. Anything blowing out this side anymore? Probably just have a hole on the side down here, but I don't know if I can seal these all up on the finger. Yeah, that's it. Good job.
Which one is it coming out?
You're fired.
Okay. Was it that little hole?
Yeah.
Or was it the bearing? The bushing?
That's a blow-off hole. Dirty rag. That's pressure. Just feeds your crank. That's your crank. So this hole here feeds your crank.
But it feeds it off of the scavenger pump?
So this is your pressure gallery. That's your pressure gallery, which comes off this bowl here.
Oh, okay.
That's your pressure relief valve. I thought the pressure relief valve was on the outer one though, not the inner one. Nope, that's the pressure.
Were we missing one? Spring and a ball?
I don't know. There's your pressure relief valve. It's adjustable. So this is your pressure valve here.
Mm-hmm.
So why they got to go into this one down here, I don't know. So why they bleeding over this? I don't know what this one does. Okay, this is the hole that's feeding our crank.
Thought it was the one where your thumb was.
This hole goes directly to the pinion shaft. This hole.
Okay, yeah.
This hole comes out the bottom here.
Mm-hmm.
Which feeds into something on this side of the case. That goes in this gallery. There. It goes into happy time. So they're bypassing something. My guess this is the, it keeps it from wet sumping. Is this what this ball does? If I had to guess. See, 45s do things different than everybody else. So. See, it only goes to that bowl. We already know this is where the pressure builds up at. I think it's going to let it wet sump. Because this is bypassing these bowls. This bowl's here for a reason. They're eliminating that bowl by having that gallery cut through there. So I think that's going to let oil leak through. Why would you have a bowl under there? So this goes right into our crank here. And this has a bowl in there. I'm not sure what it seals against. It seals way deep in there. It goes over this hole here. So it goes over this hole. all doing. That goes into this gallery here. I don't know what they're doing. I have to spend a while figuring all this out. Go look in the comic book and see what they say goes to what. As far as I can tell, we are eliminating. You're bypassing the ball when you put that slot through there. The connection of those two galleries is only the thickness of the gasket, because obviously they didn't want it to be that way. Otherwise, the whole thing would have been just a big chamber. So they didn't want it to be that way. So what they're gaining by doing that, I'm not sure. So I don't know why the hell they made the gasket that way. You have to figure out what all these different things are. Obviously they make a difference, but I don't know what. So I'm up on the air whether to use this or not. Maybe we'll use that one. This one here, I don't think it's really going to hurt us that much. It'd be nice if it had tighter clearances, but it's up to you. If you want to use the old one, put the old one in there. It's going to seal no matter what, so it's up to you. We'll figure that out. And we'll have to do some more studying on this. I'm not putting this pump in right now anyway, but we need to find out what's going on with that groove there. So I'll have to go do some studying, spend a couple hours trying to figure out what all these galleries do. Meantime, I'm going to go clean this cover some more because I think it needs to be cleaned. I'm thinking you failed on your task of cleaning this thing. So, that was some nasty stuff you blew out of there. Or I blew out of there. Alright, we'll be back.